My name's Asher, but I'm thinking about changing that. I wait tables, and a couple weeks ago, at the register, they were like, Asher's gonna be your server, he'll have your drinks right out. And I go and drop off the drinks, and he goes, thanks, Esquire. So I'm a lawyer now. That's how that works. Law school's a waste of time and money. I was at a party uptown last Halloween, but it was one of those like Loyola Tulane parties, so like the person throwing it was a drug dealer, but like runs it off of Instagram, like that type of situation, like, you know, like doesn't actually know that it's not legal here, but you know, that kind of deal. So I go and I buy an edible from her, and I've had her edibles before, and I know what to expect. Unbeknownst to me, she's changed some things. So I go up to her midway through the party, and I'm like, hey, I have this wrapper, where do I throw it away? And she goes, you ate the whole thing? And that's when I know that, like, things might not go well in the next, like, 2 hours. But it's fine, I'm navigating the party, I'm mingling, because that's what homeschoolers are best at, mingling. About like an hour and a half later, my soul is launched into orbit. And I'm like, you know, tasting colors, like I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, I need to go home. I'm not doing this anymore. It's time for me to leave. So I'm sitting on the front porch and I'm looking down at my phone, trying to navigate the Uber app. And I hear something and I'm like, what is this? And my brain finally processes it and it's, are you the stripper? And I'm like, didn't think this was that kind of party. And I look up and I hear, am I the what? The stripper for the party? And it's a girl talking to a cop at a party thrown by a drug dealer where there are like poster board signs, like middle school style, up in the backyard advertising how much a gram is going for. And this girl, who is like almost sober, is feigning extremely drunk to give someone time to run in the back and tell everyone to hide everything. And I feel like I'm about to die. I'm like, there's a cop right here and I'm the most high I've ever been in my life. And if any of you are cops right now, this is all satire. And so I like frantically call my Uber and leave. And it was just a noise violation. He just tells people to quiet down, he leaves. So I was fine. I was sure that I was being chased in my Uber because I thought that's how it goes, but I really just ended up falling asleep with my eyes open at home later. So I mean, it all worked out fine. I take Uber a lot because I'm too gay to drive, so I have like a lot of experiences with that. And they're generally all like pretty decent. And I'm not an asshole. I know how stuff like that works. Like if you take a rideshare app, you always have to give 5 stars. Because if you're like, oh, this is an average experience, I'll give them 3 stars. It just really like fucks with like, you know, their job really. But I have given 2 no-star ratings. So I'm gonna tell you about them. My first no-star rating, I was talking to my driver about Halloween, which was coming up. I had a group costume planned. It was going to be a sexy peanut butter and jelly sandwich, if you're curious. And he was really hyping up his. He's like, I've been working, I've got like this makeup situation dealt with, I'm trying to figure out like a wig, I'm really excited, I think it's gonna go great. I'm like, that's so cool. And we're like hyping up each other's like, you know, I don't know what he's going as. He's just kind of talking about how he's like putting it all together, getting like all of his clothes on and whatever. And finally he's like, but I did a makeup test, do you wanna see? And I said, yeah, sure. And he shows me, and I don't know what his costume was because I was so deeply like taken aback by the fact that he was in blackface. And I was like, wow, that's, Because I didn't want to get murdered, I was in his car, but the whole time I wanted to be like, what about me makes you think this is like cool with me and how do I get rid of it? I was so stressed out, so I was like, yeah, he leaves, he's like, you have a great afternoon. I'm like, yeah, you too have an afternoon, you have one. And I left and gave it no stars. So I don't know how that panned out for him. The second time I had a bad Uber ride, I was leaving my then girlfriend's house. It took me a minute to get out of the car because she'd never taken an Uber before, so she was a little worried about like safety and stuff. So I get in the car and I'm like, I'm sorry, you know, my girlfriend, she's, you know, a little overprotective. And I think he thought that I was a woman, and I think he thought that I was a lesbian, both of which are fine, but both of which are not me. So he's like, oh, you have a girlfriend? That's cool. That's, I'm cool with that. And I'm like, I'm glad you're cool with that. I didn't ask. And he goes, I gotta ask. And I'm like, So when you go down on a woman, what do you think is the best, where do you start and how? And I was just like, I'm sorry? And he was like, I just want to be the best I can be. So I hope he's not still doing that. Yeah. So I'm Andrew Smith, that's my set, and I'm really careful about your now.